Have you ever wondered why everything gets more expensive, but your Social Security benefits only increase by a few dollars each month? The 2025 COLA has been approved at 2.5%, equivalent to about $50 per month. For many seniors, it's a modest increase, but also a small ray of hope amid constantly rising living costs. But what worries many people more is, what about 2026? Will the upcoming COLA be enough to offset costs, or will you continue to struggle with silent shortfalls? In today's video, we'll analyze the latest forecasts, the factors quietly affecting COLA, and what you need to do right now to protect your benefits. If you find this content helpful, don't forget to share this video to spread this important information to others who rely on Social Security like you, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next updates. The reality of COLA in today's economy. If you're living on Social Security benefits, any change in the cost of living isn't a small matter. For millions of retirees, this pension is either their only income or the primary means to maintain their lives. And unless you're among the rare few with significant additional income, waiting for an annual COLA increase is practically the only thing that can ease the pressure of rising prices. The latest forecast from the Senior Citizens League (TSCL) indicates that the COLA for 2026 will likely remain at 2.3%. With this increase, the average benefit recipient, currently receiving about $1,997 per month, will only get about $46 more each month next year, amounting to $552 annually. Even those receiving maximum benefits, over $5,000 monthly, will only see an increase of about $117. In the context of rising costs from healthcare to food, this figure is truly modest. But what makes many people startled isn't the 2.3% figure. The new proposal from the Trump administration regarding import tariffs that could reach over 10% is suggesting an uncomfortable scenario. History has shown that whenever tariffs are pushed up, domestic goods, prices follow, and inflation is almost the inevitable result. This could cause the 2026 COLA to be adjusted upward. But remember, any changes in COLA always lag behind inflation. In other words, if the tariff scenario is implemented and inflation surges, you'll face skyrocketing bills from food to medicine to utilities for many months before any COLA dollars reach your account. And when the money does arrive, it might only patch up a portion of what you've lost. This makes many people wonder, is the COLA increase still assistance, or just a belated compensation for an increasingly expensive life? And that's exactly why the coming October is so anticipated. The Social Security Administration will officially announce the 2026 COLA in mid-October. The figure released then will not simply be a percentage, but a reflection of a whole year of fluctuations ahead and a signal of whether people can withstand the pressure of continuing price increases. What the 2025 COLA really means for you. Inflation in 2025 is no longer abstract. It's present in every gas bill, every grocery trip, and in the familiar prescription medications that seniors must pay for each month. Against this backdrop, the 2.5% COLA adjustment approved by the Social Security Administration seems like a ray of hope. On average, each person receives about $50 more per month, equivalent to $600 per year. With $50 per month, you can buy a few more groceries, pay down some utility bills, or set aside for emergencies. For many people living entirely on Social Security, any increase can bring a temporary sense of security. But the reality is much more complex. Because while that increase happens, medication prices are still rising, Medicare costs continue to climb, and rental prices in many states are higher than ever. COLA is designed to offset the impact of inflation, but it always comes after. You won't see this increase until inflation has already deeply affected your life, making all expenses more burdensome. That's why not a few elderly people, despite having retired for many years, are considering returning to the labor market. Not because they want to, but because they cannot manage if they only live on benefits that are gradually losing value over time. This is not the time to wait. This is the time to act. The first thing you need to do is know exactly how your benefits have changed after this year's COLA. Visit the official Social Security Administration website at ssa.gov. If you don't have an account yet, create a My Social Security account. After logging in, look for the Benefit Verification Letter section, where the exact amount you receive each month will be displayed. From that figure, you can start planning. Don't let the increase dissolve into your spending stream without making a concrete impact. Use it to strengthen your most essential expenses, prepay electricity, buy necessary medications, or simply keep it in an emergency fund for unforeseen circumstances. And if you're burdened with credit card debt, consider using this increase to pay it down gradually, as interest rates can silently drain your monthly income. Additionally, don't forget to sign up for notifications from the SSA via email or mail. This way, you won't miss any policy changes in the coming period, especially when the economic situation is constantly fluctuating and many proposals on tariffs or budget cuts are being discussed in Congress. COLA isn't a permanent solution, but if you know how to utilize every dollar, it can become the foundation that helps you proactively face what's coming. Start today while you still have control, rather than waiting until everything is beyond your reach. When current COLA figures aren't enough to keep up with rising living costs, everyone is watching the next developments with hope and skepticism. And in this picture, there are notable signals from Congress and local governments, where long-term and fundamental solutions are being put on the table. One of the proposals, supported by many seniors and advocacy groups, is changing the COLA calculation from the current CPI-W index to CPI-E, an index that more accurately reflects the spending reality of older people, including higher proportions for medical and housing costs. If passed, this could be a systemic turning point, helping to increase the COLA significantly in the coming years, instead of always letting it lag behind inflation. Not limited to federal policy aspects, many cities and counties across America are also expanding more practical support programs. Discounts on utilities, rent subsidies, or food assistance for the elderly. These policies sometimes still quietly exist without many people knowing about them. You may very well be eligible for assistance that you've never applied for. Moreover, another direction being considered by Congress is directly increasing Social Security benefits for certain vulnerable groups such as the homeless disabled veterans or elderly people living alone without other sources of support. Although no official date has been set for voting, discussions show that the pressure for reform is growing day by day. Therefore, the important thing right now is not just to monitor how much the next COLA will be, but to follow discussions in Congress, legislative proposals, and announcements from your local area. This is not the time to wait passively, but the time you need to proactively update, subscribe to official information channels, and find out if there's any support you're missing out on. In a volatile economy, opportunities and risks always go hand in hand. But those who proactively seek information, act early, and stay connected with policy changes are those who will have a clear advantage, not just financially, but also in peace of mind. In all the fluctuations and challenges taking place, the most important thing is that you still have a bright spot, something you can act on today. Although the 2.5% COLA increase only brings an average of $50 per month, if you know how to utilize it, that seemingly small figure can make a big difference. Instead of letting that increase blend into daily expenses and disappear, consider it an opportunity to regain control. You can start by building an emergency fund. Even just a few dozen dollars each month is enough to protect you when unexpected situations arise, like medical bills, car repairs, or sudden food price increases. If you're paying credit card debt, directing this increase to pay down high-interest debt will help you save significantly in the long run. Adjust your monthly budget, even just a little, so the increase doesn't vanish in uncontrolled spending. You can also use this portion to pay for essential expenses like medications, utility bills, or insurance, helping you reduce pressure and live more peacefully each day. Most importantly, log into your My Social Security account at SSA.gov. Check your benefit verification letter to know exactly how much you're receiving and ensure that your personal information, address, and contact methods are accurate. This way, you won't miss any important notifications, from benefit adjustments to other support opportunities that may be implemented in your local area. While the 2025 COLA isn't a breakthrough, 2026 is opening up a period full of fluctuations and also full of opportunities. As new proposals on tariffs, spending policies, and COLA calculations are being considered, changes in the coming year could directly impact your wallet life and financial security. The 2026 COLA may be lower or it may be higher than predicted, but one thing is certain: it won't arrive in time if you don't prepare right now. This is the time for you to act. Check your current benefits, optimize current increases, and closely monitor upcoming updates so you won't be surprised in the new year. If you found this video useful, please share it with loved ones who rely on Social Security, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We will continue to bring you honest, understandable, and actionable updates so you can always stay strong in the face of any changes. See you in the next video.